Our fellow Senator Mehreen Faruqi staged a protest in Parliament today. She had a sign in the chamber, which she's not supposed to have. What did you make of that?
Look, I thought it was infantile. I thought it was a stunt. It was undergraduate in nature, or maybe even high school in nature. It demeans... Being a senator or being an elected representative is an immense privilege. You have, a platform. You're able to give speeches. You're able to come on media shows like this. You have the opportunity to articulate your voice. But for her and to try and upstage an important occasion in Australia's democratic system, the opening address by the Governor-General, with that sort of puerile stunt, I think is just... It shows a great disrespect for Australian institutions and Australian democratic norms. And I don't think it's not like she is denied opportunities to speak out on this issue in many other forums.
We had a large pro-Palestinian protest outside Parliament House. I guess that's to be expected. Some of the signage bordered on hate speech, as far as I could work out. They were outside Parliament House. The Greens, of course, went out there and addressed that protest. No one's saying you can't protest, but, calling and suggesting that the Prime Minister has blood on his hands is completely over the top, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, I don't know if these protesters realise this, but I think, they vastly overestimate Australia's influence on developments in a conflict on the other side of the world, It doesn't matter what Anthony Albanese does or what the Australian government does. We are not single-handedly going to be able to, convince Hamas to release the hostages. All we can do is add our voice and our weight to sensible opinions. But these people who are protesting seem to think that the sole preoccupation of Australia should not be our own citizens, our own interests, our own priorities, should be to try to address a conflict, around the other side of the world with means that we just simply don't have. I find it hard to know what these protesters actually expect they will be able to achieve by this.
Just finally, on a positive note, I was pleased to see today retired Victorian Governor Linda Dessau on a podcast with my old colleague Neil Mitchell has called out the anti-Israel protests that have taken place in Melbourne, people chanting death, death to the IDF. She came out very strongly today and she said, look, after 9/11, we were very careful about what happened with our Islamic community. We don't seem to be paying the same amount of care to the Jewish community in the wake of what happened on October the 7th. That's a positive, isn't it, that someone at a senior level like Linda Dessau would come out and say that?
Well, I think, firstly, that's an excellent and highly accurate point. But yes, it's important that people who are held in high regard by the public, who are not seen as, partisan or political in any sense, who've held high office, come out and state what needs to be said, which is that we have done a terrible job as Australians collectively, institutions, governments, but also citizens, in protecting our Jewish community and making sure that they can enjoy the same rights and freedoms as other citizens do, and instead of allowing them to be victimised or scapegoated or held responsible for the actions of a foreign state.
Dave Sharma, good to catch up. Thank you very much.